Well, that was one heck of a year that we had in 2020, wasn't it? In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to be successful in 2021. I'm going to recap some of the things that I told you was going to happen in 2020, and I'm going to give you the playbook to be successful in 2021. So pay attention. This is going to be very important, especially now. But before we get to the topic, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the little notification bell so that you can get brand new videos when they come out. If you're on Instagram, make sure to use the tools on that to engage with me. LinkedIn, whatever platform, I'm posting this everywhere. Just engage. Okay, so what the heck am I talking about? Well, I think it was either in late 2019 or early 2020, I talked about how the year was going to play out, and I talked about the way to take advantage of it and the path that would lead to failure if you followed it. I said that it was going to be a hotly contested election year, so there were going to be a lot of political distractions. I talked about the fact that that was going to have a negative impact on people psychologically, and it was going to keep them from pursuing their goals. And I talked about the fact that there's going to be a growing gap, an inequality gap, in both the wealth of the have and have-nots and also the psychological aspect of have and have-not. So there's two different economies right now. There's two different societies that we're living in right now. And I'm trying to get you from the side of society and the side of the economy that you don't want to be in over to my side so that you can actually have some freedom, some happiness, contentment, and some real success. So let's talk about some things that I'm seeing, some trends that I'm seeing, and some recommendations for you to be successful in 2021. First thing you need to do to be successful in 2021 is you need to start building some sort of anti-fragile system. So what am I talking about when I talk about anti-fragility? Well, I can actually link to a video where I talked about the concepts from the book Anti-Fragile, but essentially people who are anti-fragile are able to adapt, and they actually get better in difficult and chaotic environments. So last year, 2020, was a difficult and chaotic environment, but I thrived in that environment. Why? I was adaptable. I had many different skills that were conducive to dealing with what happened in the pandemic. I was working digitally. I was working in front of a bunch of different fans. I had different income streams. So when one thing went down, another stream could go up. And since I wasn't reliant on one source of income like a job, I was anti-fragile instead of fragile. So a lot of people got caught up in 2020 being fragile because they didn't see the pandemic coming. Neither did I, but I knew that anti-fragility was the most important thing to have because of something called the turkey problem. So the turkey problem essentially says there's a turkey that gets fed 364 days in a row, and with each day the turkey grows more confident in its future prospects. But then on day 365 he realizes that he is Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of people became Thanksgiving dinner in 2020 because they didn't focus on building an anti-fragile lifestyle, an anti-fragile system to benefit them. So this is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to figure out skills that can help you adapt and pivot into different industries, and so that you are able to generate your own income, or at least be on the path to building skills that can generate that sort of income for you so that you're not relying on other people, which leads me to point number 2. This is kind of an overlap or kind of like a corollary to the point, but it's very important. Warren Buffett has a saying. He says, never rely on the kindness of strangers. Never rely on the kindness of strangers. I told you guys over and over again that when the SHIT really hits the fan, nobody is going to be there to save you. Look at what happened in the pandemic. The government didn't come and save everybody. People lost a lot. They lost jobs, they lost businesses, and a lot of these things happened through no fault of their own, but a lot of people suffered because they were relying on the kindness of strangers. They were relying on someone to take care of them. They put their faith in the system, in the institutions, and these institutions failed them. This is why I constantly talk about putting faith in yourself above anyone else, because you're the only person that you can 100% trust to take care of you when your back is against the wall. So many people thought they had job security relying on the kindness of strangers until they did it. So many people thought that their income source was going to be stable until it wasn't. So many people put all their eggs into a single basket relying on the kindness of strangers, and it failed them. So one thing that I'm trying to push into your guys' mind is a complete disdain for authority figures. These people are not your friends. They are not coming to help you. They are not coming to save you, and you shouldn't rely on them at all. So what should you do? You should build a bridge to where you have your life set up in a way that even if you have to rely on the kindness of strangers for a while, you don't have to do it permanently. So in my case, I worked at my job, and then I worked on my side business until I had a cash reserve. So once I got out and I was full-time, I had money stashed away so that even if something bad happened, I still had something that I could use to save myself. And over the years, I've developed such a skill set that as much as it would suck, you could take everything away from me right now, but based on the skills that I have, I could make that money back just like that, be back on my feet. Everything would be fine. I could have a new business running in 30 days based on everything that I've learned. So I'm fully self-sufficient, and what that does is when you're reliant on yourself only, it keeps you awake and aware. You can't fall asleep at the wheel when your income is dependent on you. Like sometimes my income goes up 100%, sometimes it drops 70%, sometimes it goes up and down 30, 40, 20%. I never know. It's eat what I kill every single month. So I can't afford to be lazy. I can't afford to be complacent. And what a lot of people do is they kind of rely on this kindness of strangers aspect, and then they get lulled to sleep because they think they're safe when they're not. So just kind of as a general mindset to have moving forward, don't think that you can rely on anyone else, and especially in 2021 and beyond, because the institutions of our society are just going to continue to prove more and more completely unable to help you. And rule number 3, or insight number 3, I think I'm going to leave you with is think of Robert Greene's law and one of his laws of power, and it's think as you like, but behave like other people. So I have a lot of wild, controversial opinions when it comes to things I write about, things I say on YouTube, different things like that when I have that right forum. But when it comes to my day-to-day life, when I'm interacting with people, I just keep to myself. I just smile and nod. You know, unless I'm with my close friends who I know can handle some of that kind of controversial talk, I just keep it to myself, right? So when I'm online in public, I say the most wild, controversial shit you could think of, right? But if I'm in some conversation at a party, like I'm not going to talk about all my wild theories, right? Why do I do this? Because the environment is so charged and politically outraged, and you know, there's almost like a level of thought policing going on where you have to be careful with what you say. You know, even someone like me who has a lot of wild takes, guarantee I'm only giving you a small percentage of everything that I truly think. Not because I'm scared of the retribution, but just because it's not worth dealing with. It's not worth going through all the trouble to try to say things and convince people who are very set in their ways, right? So for me, I talk to people who are receptive to my message. I do, spark a little controversy and things like that when I'm on social media, when I'm writing, when I'm on video. But then for the most part, I still try to get along, and I will be mindful of like how much personality I can give to certain people when I'm around them. I prefer to take a lot of my theories and just use reality to make that bet, right? I don't have to tell people how things are going to work out. I can make bets with my money. I can make bets with my career. I can make bets with my decision making on how I think things are going to run without even having to share the depths of those opinions, right? So think as you like, but behave like other people. Fit in with the crowd on your day-to-day existence, and then save forums like these, or with your close personal friends, or with people who are going to tolerate the message, so that you can kind of fly below the radar enough to get your work done without being one of these people who are caught up in the crossfire of all this 2021 outrage, political kind of cancel culture nonsense. All right, those are 3 quick tips. And, I don't know. I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen in 2021. I just know that for people like me, 2021 is going to be a good year. But for people who are continuing to be reliant on the system, for people who are still kind of under the illusion of the media and politicians and this kind of learned helplessness attitude that they've all helped cultivate, those people are going to be in for a really bad time. So I think it's really important for you to focus on that and decide which side that you want to be on. So that's the end of the video. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Instagram, LinkedIn, share with your friends, all your buddies. Buy my books. The links are in the bio. They're everywhere that you can see them. Had a lot of fun. Ready to get back on the horse and make some more videos. I will see you next time.